All right, guys, James and Justin here, your favorite spiritual analysts and all things culturally relevant. And there is a new Superman movie coming out.
He's back.
He's back.
Back again.
We were talking a bit about this before, and I tend to like Superman, and you're not so much of a fan.
Yeah, I mean, among the, whatever it's called, pantheon? I don't know what you call it, of superheroes, I more resonate with the, Deadpool, Wolverine. It's the same thing with, I'll watch a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
And, somebody will be like, I like Captain America. I'm like, I can't. He's too good. Superman's too good. I actually liked when Batman was, put Superman in his place. Because... it's just a different walk of life, I feel like the way they usually do Superman is he's just too overpowered, too naturally good.
Yeah.
And I know that's the deal with him. That's the deal with Superman. Superman's good, and I'm okay with that. But it doesn't fire me up as much as Deadpool or somebody who's got an edge to them and is kind of not quite just a good guy.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit of a bad guy, I suppose.
Maybe this trailer can change your mind. We're gonna take a look at it, and then we'll get back to you on it.
Krypto. Home. Take me home.
Superman.
Something about that music. I don't know what that music is, man, but if
Superman,
if that was
isn't it the Superman theme sort of re-edited or something?
Yeah. Just using the electric guitar there, almost, I don't know, it seemed very American, very American-y, but it was also
I am a real American.
But it was also there's something about this, if you were in an auditorium, and that music was I don't know. To me,
gets you. You gotta be.
If a savior was coming to save humans,
yeah,
that would be the music you would want following.
If I looked over and saw a guy crying, I'd be like, "Get it together." But if I looked over and saw a guy I don't feel anything, I'd be like, "Get it together." You gotta feel something, but just keep it together. Actually, I don't want no judgment. If that makes you tear up, that's fine. I mean? It shows probably human. Anyway.
But also, just with the trailer itself, to me, it seems like they took it down from crispness and made it a little bit more hokier. With his outfit, it was a little bit more baby bluey than more like a dark blue with like all the muscle things perfect. It seemed a little bit more...
Which is a good choice for DC. Get at it. Don't try to be so gritty anymore. Let's get back to the...
It looked more playful with the villains and the monsters. Yeah. It all looked a little bit more playful, which I kind of like if they do it right, you know?
So there's actually a lot I could say about this.
Okay,
right?
Jump on in.
You too? There's a lot you could say about it too?
Yes, for sure.
Well, let me say some of the things that I noticed. The first time I watched this teaser, I was kind of like irritated with the same old, till I saw him hugging his dad. I'm assuming that's his dad.
Yeah.
The sort of like bald guy with the plaid jacket. And I liked that because he didn't look like your typical like handsome Clark Kent's dad. You know what I mean? Like he almost looked like he was struggling or something and that gives an indication to me, that gives a reason why Superman might have like a good heart. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when somebody's got all the, like, you can get resentment. Like, of course you're good when or like, of course it's easy for you to be good. But when you see that there's something that's given him some kind of like empathy for humanity, like his dad's like really just a typical guy, maybe. I don't know. That kind of gave me some hope of that, seeing that figure of his dad like that. Like maybe his dad's even like just a struggling normal guy. One of the things was it looked like they jammed so much into this. I hope you know what you're doing, James Gunn. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you jam so many characters and stuff in there, it's like, is there going to be enough time to flesh out all the characters?
Yeah.
The dog, I don't know how to feel about that. That's gotta like, you're a dog person. That's gotta like do something to people that are really into pets and animals. Yeah. What else? Lex Luthor is a thing I take a bit of issue with, I like the actor that's playing Lex Luthor, but I thought, remember when Jesse Eisenberg was briefly Lex Luthor in the one Superman
I'm usually
movie?
not good with names, but...
He's like, he's kind of like, he played...
Oh, I think I know who you're...
He played Mark Zuckerberg, and he plays and he, to me, would have been a good fit if they just started him off bald, and he didn't try to be like a weaselly bad guy. Like a weird... All you have to do is be like a know-it-all. And people will be like, that's the bad guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you're smarter and sort of contemptuous of everybody and a little bit pessimistic and a know-it-all, that's like a good bad guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't have to try too hard. Seeing a handsome bad guy, like put hair on him and he's handsome like Superman. You know what I mean? Like they're not... And he's rich too. Like,
well, the story matters too, because usually if you toss in a little bit of like, something like the bad guys off to do something bad, but it's for a good reason, like a Thanos type of a situation. Usually that makes it more of a complex situation. Like,
I like the glimpse that they showed you where he's crying. He looks like he's like sort of looking up through his eyebrows and there's tears in his face.
Yeah.
I like a humanized bad guy a little bit. Yeah. And I know it's kind of played out at this point, but I even like the part where they show the public's a little bit like angry at Superman. They're throwing stuff at him. Yeah. Even though it's like, how are they going to get there? How do you have a problem with Superman?
Yeah.
I know there was a bunch of stuff. I can't remember.
Superhero movies, they tend to cause me to reflect. Every time I see a trailer like this, I always think about like, what is it about these movies that like get you when you put like the nice symphony of music behind it, and there's something that can sometimes like stir something within you, and I'm like, what is that? What is hitting my heart? And I don't know, maybe it's like like a vision of like what an altruistic human might be someday, or like where we might, like where is our aspiration? Where is our heart? Where do we wish we were? Do we wish we were the superhero?
They soften your heart up. So much of life, you got to harden your heart up a little bit to deal with things. When you're living your life and you see so many things, you're shown a lot of different reasons that you could have a softer heart and be broken. In the West here, we harden ourselves a little bit to not be so soft and not be so naive, and so that we can like face the world. And when you see somebody that's relentlessly good in the face of adversity, I think if you're not too far gone, it sparks something in you, and you're like, I want to be good too.
Well, it's like modern day mythology that we use to tell a story, to cause us to reflect and, take a look at our own lives individually. Like, what is that thing that's moving? Maybe I should go sit down and think about that for a bit, because I'm sure it's different for everyone. Everyone gets moved by different characters. Like you said, you have your characters that you like, and I'm sure everyone else, they have the characters that they resonate with, that like speaks to them, that touches them on some type of level that,
I'm going to give you like the villain's perspective here for a sec, okay?
Yeah.
Some of the people I've known that have really resonate, like one of the people that comes to mind is Jerry Seinfeld. He always had Superman. Like Jerry loves Superman, but is like notoriously the character in the show that also the character that likes Superman was like very, like not petty, but very shallow.
Yeah.
And sort of childish and all this stuff. And the people I've known that seem to reflect like a over interest in Superman, like the tattoo, like I don't want to judge anybody. Tattoo is not that bad, but sometimes when there's a guy that's into Superman, they're into like this idea that it's actually possible to be like the superior man.
Yeah.
And I take contention a little bit with this played out idea of like a Herculean complex, like a real man does everything and then some with a smile on his face. Like that's not, in my experience, oftentimes that's balanced against like hidden darkness, because if you're being honest, there's all sorts of like, we've all got insecurities. We've all got infirmity. We've all got like, maybe not infirmities, but we all got like, vulnerabilities.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why people probably liked Neo from The Matrix so much, because so much of that story was like him coming out of his shell, discovering the hero within himself. I think a lot of people liked The Matrix because of that. They were like, this is just a regular dude figuring things out, and it's not till like the very end of the first movie that he actually like gets his real power, like his full powers, to figure out who he is.
And I know that there are going to be people that, yes, that's true. Yeah. You see the struggle, and the struggle is often what you identify with. And of course, in a trailer, it shows him, starts off with him literally all bleeding, and people are probably screaming like, what are you talking about? He's got a weakness, kryptonite. It's not what I mean. I mean the unrealistic desire to be something that is, quite frankly, like an example of what's better than everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, you're just a bad guy then if you got a problem with someone reaching for the best. Yeah, I do think that it gets, because here's a straight up fact about it. Superman is like really handsome. We're not all handsome like Superman. We're not all 6'4". That's how tall he is. Yeah. We're not all got superpowers, for God's sake. It's an unrealistic, and a lot of that is like just what he was born with.
Yeah.
Like he just gets that, and which is why I said earlier, I kind of like that movie with Batman, which got terrible reviews, right? But I like when Batman's like, men are brave. You're not brave. Yeah. Men are brave that got to overcome their weaknesses to be strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like people are like, bad eggs, like bad form, man. Just root for Superman. He's not real, for God's sake. But dudes try to be him sometimes, and it's embarrassing when they fall, because we all end up old and feeble and need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So be a human above all else. Don't try to be a Superman. Be a human and be honest about it, for God's sake. And then the other side of it is it confuses everybody, because if somebody plays that off well, like they're good at pretending to be a superhuman, they dupe people, and then people think it's real. And then when you get to know the real person, the first time they eat a bad taco and they're like, don't look at me! Don't look at me! It's like reality sets in. You know what I mean? And I've dated so many losers. Yeah, because they all on the first showing of themselves try to project themselves as a Superman. Wear your best watch, dress the best. If people went into the world, warts and all, being like, these are my weaknesses, we would have a better idea of what's going on. So the unrealisticness of it, in that sense, the iconography of the Ubermensch, the Superman, is just, I'll still see it. I still can tolerate a Superman movie or a Captain America of these really good guys. But when it gets into the zeitgeist, it creates unrealistic expectations. And in my experience, most people are like half good, like got a lot of bad in them. Like, you're nowhere near Superman. Ain't nowhere. So what are you relating to? Because you're nowhere near like this guy that puts up with people throwing cups at him and still saves the world. Most people, one cup thrown at them and they're like, screw all of you. Behold my wrath. Like, who's got that kind of patience? What do you think of what I just said?
Yeah, I hear there's an unrelatable aspect to Superman, you know, and the fact that he gets to start the game with all the gifts, you know, that obviously points to a problem.
Anybody that takes a cup to the head that could obliterate them with laser eyes. Anybody that does take a cup to the head is like fodder for all the other psychos to be like, this guy takes cups in the head. You know what I mean? It's not like people are like, take it easy on him. He took a cup to the head. Yeah. Like, so much of the bad stuff, you become exploitable. Like, there's a reason why when you tell it's like, if your enemy slaps you, turn the other cheek. Like, who actually turns the other damn cheek?
Maybe another...
It doesn't get to a point where like, that's too many cheek turns. I'm fighting. I'm standing up for myself.
Another, I guess, aspect that you could look at with this Superman thing is that when people... maybe see something like this, it may plant a seed subconsciously inside of them that causes them to start waiting for a savior in their life. Oh, like, you know, maybe one day someone might come and save me. Maybe there will be someone. And I hope it doesn't do that. I hope, if anything, it stirs you to look for the superhero that is within you, the good attributes that you can find within yourself that you could work on, that could build you up, and you go through that whole... thing of discovering the best sides of yourself. I would hope that it would do something like that. But I do think I think it can cause people to maybe hope too much that something outside of themselves is coming to save them and put their reliance on like, well, I'm just going to sit back and do nothing until, the aliens come and save us, or, some, Jesus-like figure comes and saves us, or whoever it is. But anyway, we have gone on and on about this one. This has been quite a long one for a trailer reaction, but hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone until next time, stay spiritual.